objective, and it was a smaller class, but it looks like you guys kind of identified some needs.
Yeah, definitely. We need to get some edge guys up front, guys that are going to allow us to continue to do the things we're doing on defense and being multiple, some stand-up outside linebacker type bodies that can rush, set edges, and drop, as well as get some corners in the secondary and another safety in JL. And so really, you know, it wasn't a huge class for us, and we feel really good about the D lineman, Mike Callahan, that we got in terms of what he brings to the table with his physicality and his work ethic and his intangibles. So overall, I think what you'll see from the class is we got some guys with some length, but we didn't sacrifice the intangibles and the other things to get that length. A lot of these guys are high-grade guys, high-character type guys, team captains, and probably on average one of the longer classes in terms of height and length that we've gotten.
You mentioned Mike and JL. Who are a couple guys that, you know, I guess you'll feel like you're leaving somebody out if you don't name them all, but who are a couple guys that really stand out to you that you're excited to have?
You know, really all of them. You know, as it gets down to the end, every single year there's guys trying to come after the commits and you know, a bunch of things going on behind the scenes, and we kept everybody we had committed, and I think a big reason because of that is because of the relationships that we have had built with them and their families and their coaches, and so we've spent so much time with these guys. They're all we can't wait to get them all. We wish we could get them all here in January and get them going, so I can't really single any of them out.
Were you in on George's recruitment at all? Or?
On George?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, I thought he was in there. Okay.
No, the only offensive guys is Hank. Hank comes from the Inland Empire in the area where I grew up and where I'm from. But aside from the defensive players, Hank was the only offensive player, and he's a quarterback. So I just facilitate that Harsh, you know, and he'll handle all that.
You're saying you found him, then you're taking the.
No, it's kind of ironic. Hank, you know, when we were able to do the summer football camps way back when, Hank came to our summer football camp probably about 5 years ago.
Okay.
And so that's pretty unique. Here we fast forward into where we're at now, and we're just super blessed to get a guy here, you know, like him.
You mentioned you know, 15 guys, and I think you only had one the entire time that decommitted, you know, from last signing day to now. I mean, how rare is that these days, to be able to have your guys stick with you and not be, you know, chasing a quarterback or some key guy, you know, 3 days before signing day?
You know, I think it's attributed to the type of relationship. Number one, identifying the right people, right? And building relationships with them and their families and being able to move forward from there. And then obviously the coaching staff as a whole doing a great job to make sure that these young men understand the fit here for them and how important it is with that fit.
You know, obviously, I don't know if we'll get you again before Boston College or not, but just, you know, taking a quick look at them offensively, what kind of stands out to you about them?
You know, so they're a downhill physical run team. I mean, they big O-line, big running backs, big tight ends that are multiple, can block, run routes, split out and run routes. And the quarterback is athletic and has a very strong arm. He's able to get the ball in the tight windows. So the people we've talked to, they say they're an extremely physical football team. So we're going to have a huge challenge on our hands, and then, you know, they're able to you know, run the play action passes off all their run game, and so we're gonna have to be really disciplined with our eyes for the play actions and the boots.
You know, in bowl games, a lot of time it's like which team wants to be there and cares about it, you know, for motivation and stuff. I mean, with the way that last game ended in overtime like that for your defense, and having guys like Tyler and Jabril playing their last game and stuff, I mean, do you feel this is going to be a motivated group going into the game?
It's been that way at practice. We've had some really good practices. The guys have gotten after it when we're going. You know, the first few practices where we weren't game planning and we're practicing against each other. It was very, very competitive between the offense and the defense, so that was a good sign to see the urgency, you know, and how excited that these guys are, you know, to play in this game. And now obviously we have a week left to prepare once we regroup down in Dallas together, and it's going to be very important that we stay focused and have that same urgency.
I know you only have three or four, you know, from Dallas on the team, but, you know, you guys do try to get guys out of there, and just with the brand that Leighton and those guys on the Cowboys are building down there, and the Boise State brand, to have the game in Dallas, you know, and what's this mean for you guys to have a week down there?
Yeah, I think any of our guys from Texas, they love being in Texas. They're pretty proud about their home state. So that's an area we spend a lot of time recruiting. In the last few years, we've gotten a few guys, from the Austin area as well and things like that. So just to be able to go down there and football down in Texas, they love their football down there. So we're excited to go down there and play against a great opponent like Boston College and experience the Cotton Bowl in Dallas.